Welcome to the Wheelhouse. I'm Gilles Gallant, and with the NHL season just around the corner and after a long summer of free agency, trades, and renewed sense of hope, I'm going to take on two of the largest fan bases in North America, the Leafs and the Habs. That's right, check your bladders because you are going to get burned like it's infected. Now before you get all Hulk angry and decide to look up my address and have a date with Sweet Lady Brick, just know this, I plan to hate on both teams equally. That's right, hate is unbiased at the Wheelhouse. Before I begin, just a small disclaimer, I am a Colorado Avalanche fan. Yes, I know my team is terrible right now, but if you fans are chirping me, please be reminded that we did win 2 cups in the last 15 years while you've won none. So let's begin. It's admirable the optimism shared in this group. In fact, it's actually kind of sickening. But if you were to tell a Leafs fan that this is their year, they would say, every year is our year, despite not making the playoffs for the last 6 seasons. Even if they started 3-0, that would still warrant a call to the Stanley Cup engravers. Now let's do a quick recap of what's happened since the last time the Leafs made the playoffs. Facebook was invented, the Red Sox won the World Series, Twilight made every girl in the world think vampires sparkle, and Charlie Sheen made a comeback, then a drug relapse, made a comeback, then fell off the map. Losing. You smug SOBs, you think you're really cool, don't you, with your 24 cups? Well, I got a news flash for you. 1993 doesn't matter anymore. In fact, I'm even going to put this out there and say that Pittsburgh should have won that cup going for a three-peat, but they got hosed in their series against the Islanders. However, the Habs do have an envious history. They have over 60 Hall of Famers and 15 retired numbers, but quit living in the past. If the argument is that the Canadians have made the playoffs and the Leafs haven't, I wouldn't exactly be hanging my hat on those results considering you've only made the conference finals 2 years ago and every other year you got bounced in the first round. Since the salary cap has come into effect, no team has been affected by managerial mistakes more than the Leafs. That money pool that was coming in was always a good way to wash away the risk, but you mean now the GM has to think? The Kessel deal, no matter how you slice it, robbed the Leafs of their initial development, and signing a concussion-prone center in Tim Connolly isn't going to change the fact that your top 6 forwards are garbage. You can brag up Grabowski and Kuhlman all you want, but I guarantee no team is racing to acquire them. Until your team drafts or acquires a star player that can carry the load, your team will always be crap. On a side note, I'd like to give Berkey a compliment for not wasting his money on Brad Richards. This is like a case of a GM who doesn't read the press clippings. We're small? Oh, well, let's trade for Scott Gomez and sign Mike Camilleri. Yes, we get it. You traded for Eric Cole and have Pacioretty, but let's be real here. This isn't the Cole of 2003 when Carolina won the Cup, and Pacioretty, he's still being scraped off the glass after Chara destroyed him. The re-signing of Markov was a good step, but this guy's knee is about as stable as Lindsay Lohan. One relapse and you're stuck with PK Subban as your #1 defenseman. Have fun explaining that cup run to season ticket holders. All in all, by virtue of living in Canada and stuck watching Canadian sports channels, I'm stuck with knowing every single detail about the Leafs and the Habs. No, I do not care if Nazem Kadri is going to make the team, nor do I care if Zdeno Chara is going to be charged by the Montreal Police. Every year, fans should be excited about their respective teams. But to think you're actually going to win the Cup without making any large changes or make the playoffs as an 8th seed and then march all the way to the Cup is just ridiculous. But rationality apparently is not really an option. That's all for this week. I'm sure I'll need to watch my back as Leaf and Hab fans plot my grueling death. Be sure to get your sports fix next week on The Wheelhouse.